Here we are.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm giving my Philly attitude. Yo, 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 everybody.
Because we're in Philly for this show, right?
No, but the show we're going to talk about is set in Philly and filmed in Philly and by a Philly filmmaker who we all know, M. Night Shyamalan. He's actually the showrunner.
Yeah.
But the show was actually created and written by Tony Bascalop, and he kind of writes most of the episodes, so it's kind of his game.
Yeah.
But M. Night Shyamalan directs some of the episodes, as I believe his sister does too. So it's called Servant.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
We appreciate any kind of comments.
We read them all. Read and respond pretty much to all of them. So we love hearing the comments. And if you have anything to say about The Servant, or if you have movies you want us to watch or series, we would love to hear about it.
Yes, absolutely. So Servant is something that's on Apple TV, Apple Plus, and Kathy watched it and recommended it to me. And I said, okay, I'll give it. And
for a long time, I've been recommending this.
So I finally
2 years ago.
I know. I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it, and there are 10 episodes, but they're a half hour each, so you can fly through.
Such an easy, fun watch.
It's a fun watch. I cranked through it in about 3 or 4 nights, and I loved it. I'll be honest. Good. I thought it was great. So it's just really good. And season 3 is coming out January 21st.
That's why we decided to do sort of an overview. So we are going to be talking about spoilers.
Yes.
So, part of the spoilers, part of the joy of the show really is that it has so many weird secrets and reveals. So we're not going to talk about all spoilers, but there's some stuff you just can't avoid talking about, which is there's some big major spoilers, but they happen in the first episode, some of it. So if you can just get into that first episode, but again, don't watch this if you haven't seen it. I mean, try and watch it and then hear our thoughts about it.
We're going to talk about the first 2 seasons, which is 20 episodes. And so that's everything. And then we're going to be teased into watching season 3, which comes out in a couple of days.
Exactly. And also we're gonna show the teaser trailer for season 3, or I don't think it's a teaser. I think it's the real thing. So we're gonna watch that right now and talk about the trailer and then recap the first 2 seasons.
Very good.
Okay, so here we go.
This is my family, and I will not let you take me away from them.
Here we go.
Hello, Matthew, little bumblebee.
Everyone's so happy. It's never good.
I know.
A toast
to
motherhood and to new beginnings.
She's great in it.
Can I tell you something silly? Sometimes I feel like I'm cursed. I think that everything's happening the way that it's supposed to.
What?
This cult could come back for her at any time. None of you can protect me from them. You wouldn't even know what to look for. What are you feeding those squatters again, Sean?
They're hungry kids, Dorothy.
What if they're casing the place?
Yeah.
I forbid you to go back to that park.
It's so funny how controlling you can be.
I think it would be best for
Just now
everyone if
noticed.
you were able to make peace with me.
Why are you both so afraid of her?
She's angry.
I see.
Please don't hurt her.
Julian, you're not telling me everything. What is going on?
There's a price to pay.
Oh, look at that.
What the hell happens now?
The end.
I don't want to lose my son again.
Things are decaying.
She's gotta go.
The house is filled with pests.
She's like this worm that gets under your skin. This is my home. This is my family. And I will not let you take me away from them.
Whoa.
God didn't bring back Jericho.
And I did.
Wow.
It's coming up so fast.
That gets me fired up.
21st. That's like, when is that? Like Wednesday or something? I don't even know what day it is. I don't know.
But
wow, that looked amazing.
It's great because this series basically takes place in this the brownstone where
A beautiful, my God, it was like, it's like the dream.
Classic
he's
Philadelphia. Yes, he's this molecular chef.
Super gourmet.
He's injecting like sugar into locusts or whatever the hell he was doing.
That was like really weird.
And she's a local news reporter on the Channel 8, which is no such channel, but in Philadelphia. And,
there's no such channel.
And they hire a quote unquote servant, but a au pair played by Nell Tiger Free. By the way,
I love that name.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, everybody's good in this. It's a great cast. Toby Kebbell plays Sean, Lauren Ambrose, Nell Tiger Free, and Rupert Grint from
Rupert Grint was incredible.
He's great. He
He's
plays
so good because he plays such a because when you think Harry Potter, they're all so cute and adorable.
Yeah.
And in this, he's this total like bad boy, like black sheep of the family. He's the main
he's always drinking.
brother.
He's always cracking open wine or whiskey or something, and he's
he's like he talks about being coked up all the time, and he's always like his tie's always kind of he's kind of a disaster, but like an A-type functioning psycho. But he's so good. Love
but he's
him.
also he's also sort of the voice of the audience, because you have this couple that going the basic line of the story, and you could probably tell a little bit from the teaser, this trailer, even though you didn't see if you hadn't seen the first 2 seasons, is they had a baby, and a newborn, and early on, what should I say about this? Something happens, and they're traumatized by it, and they're they still want to hire Leanne Grayson, who is right there, is a servant, to come and take care of the baby.
Yeah.
The husband is like, why? What are we doing this for? And you sort of watch it and you realize what happens, and then some strange things start to happen, and Leanne, the servant, has this sort of aura about her. She's changing the family dynamic between these two very yuppified kind of people that have sort of entitled. He's very snotty about food, very he's kind of a real asshole. Like when he goes on this he judges the show in Hollywood, and he's just really tough, over the top tough. And she's sort of this precious reporter who's sort of like happy in life, but of course she really isn't. But Rupert Grint's character, he is the voice of us, saying, come on, get your act together, what the hell are you guys doing, and he's funny in that way.
Funny.
But it all takes place in the brownstone virtually. I mean, there's some streets,
pretty much one set.
And sometimes they have videos where they're going somewhere else, but it's just through an iPhone or whatever, and so it's very contained. And there's a lot but it's very cinematic. It's beautifully shot, some great camera work, beautiful music, a lot of long shots
that
like
brownstone
that.
here.
Just
gorgeous.
And it's
the kitchen alone.
It's great. Yeah.
God.
But it's very meticulously made, and Nell Tiger Free is great as Leanne. I've never seen her before, and she's quite good in this.
I like her because she comes in and she seems kind of like super nerdy and uptight, very proper. She wears these long dresses and these kind of, these very functional shoes, but she's still beautiful, but she's definitely seems super uptight. But then as it goes along, you realize there's something else going on here. Like she has this weird dark side.
Right.
She just seems to be sort of in a weird way coming out of her shell, but you don't know exactly what that means. But she's so proper that both parents are completely off guard with her. Like they totally trust her. They aren't even thinking about it. But then the husband kind of is getting a little bit more of a clue than Ambrose's character.
Right.
And it's like
she's very religious. She's praying a lot, reads the Bible. She kind of makes a cross out of sticks and like twine, which is never a great look. You
don't want like, why is this happening?
Right, that's not something you want to see in your house. So, but they kind of go along with it because she brings a certain positivity to the whole place. So it's. I don't want to get. It'd be terrible to ruin.
Well, we said we're going to talk spoilers, but at the same time, everything in my being is say do not spoil this.
Yeah.
So we won't. But the writing, like when you see this first episode, and there's a lot of reveals in the first episode. There's still a lot of mysteries to be solved, but you see an initial, gambit they're playing. The amount of writing, like the super intelligent writing that's going into how to handle this and to set it up as whatever solution to this problem there is, it's all bad. There's just no way it's not a terrible. So your whole time you're just cringing, going, "How is this going to happen? What is going to go down?" Because nothing is good. Like you cannot. It was just so intense.
It's like how do you avoid a tragedy? And they're doing everything they can to avoid that,
And then by doing that, they dig a hole so deep that
but it's even more tragic.
Tragedy 10 times worse than it was in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want a shout out for the character Uncle George, who comes in sort of halfway through the series, and he's played by Boris MacGyver, and his father was John MacGyver, a famous character actor. And he's quite wild in this. Like he's just like I can't take my eyes off him. It's like what is that? He's just such an odd guy, creepy. But they let him in. His shoes are holy.
I like that they made a point out of that. Like he looks pretty proper, but then the camera pans down, you see these shoes are just worn out, like falling apart, kind of wet. Like just you're like, okay, what's up with this guy? Like he does not seem legit.
No,
like everything about him seems wrong. And I was amazed how Ambrose's character, I can't even, I haven't seen it as recently as you, but how she would let a person like this in the house and then insist he stay over. Well, and her husband's like out of town, yet they're letting this guy.
Yeah, her name's Dorothy or Dottie.
Dorothy. That's right.
But,
Dorothy.
But I think she so wants this to happen that everything. I mean, she was so traumatized, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care who comes in the house if it's something to help her in her quest.
Yeah, she built this whole kind of fantasy world around herself that she's desperately holding on to, and it's like if one person tries to put a crack in that, it's bad. So it's like like you said, you're right. She's bringing in people who will support this point of view. Yeah, and it's really, really insane.
And there's great little, like Toby is sort of like this character who's like the sous chef to Sean.
Yeah.
Also all the ancillary characters also are very well drawn, and it just it works. I was riveted the whole time, and there was not a slow episode.
No.
There's a couple of great what the fuck moments, which are great, and then there's some actually really kind of traumatic or dramatic emotional moments.
So many.
And I think M. Night Shyamalan, who's a showrunner, really he loves this kind of stuff. And what I got out of it is like I want to revisit some of his movies that weren't quite as well received, because I think there's a sense of humor to this. And I feel like maybe he's just sort of winking at the camera. He's kind of making fun of these people in a way.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely is. Yeah, I would say there's sort of a little bit of, and it looks like season 3 when looks like they have the homeless encampments. It's that sort of, that whole, what would you call it? Like a conflict between the people who are well off, which is Dorothy, and then the people who aren't, and how they're afraid of them. They don't want them around, but they also don't really want to help them.
Right.
And it's like, but they do want to help them, but they just don't want them in their neighborhood. It becomes this whole like weird, and I think it's really interesting to bringing that up, because they're bringing in this real life issue on top of all their other issues that are happening. Well, even though I'm a little bit, I want to see what they do about the homeless people being evil, because that one kind of bothers me a little bit. So we'll see how they're handling it. It's not that simple.
I don't think so. I think, it might be, there might be part of that cult, part of that, that church or something, and maybe not homeless. But, Uncle George, as he's leaving, he's leaving in one of the episodes early in the first scene, he goes, "This is a godless house," It is. And that was sort of like, wow, that was sort of like, what that was interesting, because you can read it 3 or 4 different ways, and that's good writing, as Kathy mentioned earlier. It's really good writing.
It is good. So we're very excited about Servant.
I can't wait. Now, does Apple Plus, do they release all 10, or is it like one a week?
I'm not sure about that, because I caught the first round after it already all come out. So I bet it's once a week.
I think it's once a week.
They do once a week usually, yeah.
Right.
So, but I don't mind waiting. I kind of like the idea.
I like it. It's like going back to the old days when we used to watch Breaking Bad and go, "Oh gosh, we have to wait another week to see what happens." The heck.
Real quick, I want to throw the poster up real fast. My husband did this poster.
Really? Yeah. Kudos to Chad. It's very cool.
It's very cool. I love it. I think it's really good. Yeah, it's super creepy. And they also, it looks like they tied it into the trailer, because you saw the shadows at the end coming up in the crawl at the end. So that was really, really nice. So yay. He gets to work on such cool stuff.
You do too.
We won't worry. I know. I get to work on Cinemando podcast.
Exactly.
What's cooler than that?
Nothing is cooler than that.
Thanks so much for joining us for our servant recap.
Yeah, I would call we call this a trailer reaction to season 3.
Trailer reaction shortcut review.
Very good.
Yeah,
very
it's a little bit of a supersized trailer reaction.
exactly. But anyway, it was fun. I can't wait for it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.